Hey there, welcome to Avian Games. I'm Jack,
I'm Chris.
and we've got another
I'm Chris.
podcasty kind. Okay, I'm still talking.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I'm Chris.
we got another podcasty, maybe different thing. I don't know. I don't know if this is what if the title of this will be different than podcast, or maybe it'll be something else. I don't know. But
Okay.
Chris doesn't know. I kind of what this is, and I just kind of told him that I was going to ask him some questions. But have you ever heard of the Marvel TV show What If?
No.
So basically, Marvel, my juices were flowing. All the juices I have, all over the place, brain juices, bodily juices, all the juices flowing. And I was thinking about, Marvel has a multiverse, and how they explain a lot of things in the multiverse, or not really explain things, but in this TV show that they created called What If. What If is all about like different alternate realities in which like if something else happened instead of something that actually happened in the universe.
Okay.
So I think in that one, like the first episode is all about like um, instead of Captain America becoming Captain America, his girlfriend that he like falls in love with and whatnot, she actually becomes Captain America, and because
Oh, I
like
think I heard about that.
so there's like a different thing. There's
Female
also
Captain
like a
America thing,
zombie
yeah.
universe. There's a bunch of different things that happened, and the multiverse of madness recently. That it's like a lot of that stuff happens because it's a multiverse of a bunch of different things with a bunch of different people.
Hmm.
Check that out if you haven't seen it. Also, a pretty good film. But I was thinking today of like, what if different things happened to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, and different like things like changed it. So I just
Mm.
wanted to kind of pose some of these questions to you, and I wondered if you had any thoughts to it. So these are in no particular order, and so they'll kind of be skipping around from like generation to generation. I would say not generation, but like year to year on when certain things came out. But when
Hmm.
I was first looking at this, my first one though um, was what if um, Konami went bankrupt and went out of business? What would happen to the game?
That would suck a lot of dick.
Well, no shit, that would suck. But would people still play it? Like, I guess I've never really thought about like what card games exist that like I guess if there's no one to regulate a format or no, like, would there still be regulation or would it ever go out of business or is that even possible?
I mean, I think that it couldn't just in the fact I think there would always be a fan base for it
Mm,
because there already is like before they made those new formats, like there was people who just set up like GOAT format tournaments.
sure.
You know what I mean? And people who did like that kind of stuff. So I would imagine that like there's definitely like there would be people who were organizing stuff. But like I don't think you would really see like another YCS. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
You
mean,
might see
maybe.
some like small and or small size tournaments, you know what I
Mm.
mean?
And what would that do
Like
to like the
that.
market? I guess imagine trying to like get. Is this
Oh my
would this be
god,
like
that would
Zoo? What's that zoo game you like or you want to play?
MetaZoo.
MetaZoo, like every packs are like $60 a pack.
Yeah. I yeah, I don't know. I I could see it going both ways, I feel like the expensive cards would end up being way more expensive,
Mm.
you know? And the uh but at the
Like,
same time like if it's not a supported game, like I feel like I could imagine them dropping in price, the cards.
but you like it's very interesting because I feel like bulk would be like so like if you want to run some sort of deck that like has a lot of bulk in one, you'd have to go find someone that actually had the specific card, or I guess go to TCG and like that only that person's gonna or only those people that are listing it right there are gonna have that card. You can't just go buy a pack to get that certain thing, or you can't expect it to be reprinted at all.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I don't know. That'd be interesting. Speaking of this is just a topic on price because of the MetaZoo thing you mentioned.
mm,
I just looked it up and they are more expensive. I wish we got into this before it came out. They sold a Kickstarter box if you kickstarted the fucking game before it came out.
mm-hmm.
One of the cards from the Kickstarter box is $1,300 as low as.
Jesus.
Market price is 2,250.
I guess that's who's buying them though. Like I'd be curious at can you click on one of those last sold? I want to see the last
So
sold what someone actually bought.
this card is near mint 330. Let's look at this
What was
because
the last
I don't
selling though? See,
still
it doesn't.
gathering price data.
It doesn't look like it's ever been sold. So like, while people are putting it at that price, I
Yeah,
don't know who's making that because it's not selling.
yeah, I get that.
Like
That's
you have
true,
to,
I guess.
it's a very certain
Let's
specific
see.
market. I would pick like a pack or something like that, or a set. See if you can
Let's
find
look
one
at
of
this.
those.
Holy gem as low as 62.
62. Oh, that one is a sale
So people have been buying this at this price, but
at $60. Yeah, fair enough. That one, maybe you just
oh,
picked on a bad card.
well, look at this. This is interesting. This has a hollow in this one printing or this one page has a hollow market price and a reverse hollow market price on the
Wow,
same graph. So do you have to? Oh yeah,
that's
look at this. Same card, same listing, two different things: a reverse hollow copy and a normal hollow copy.
oh.
I've never seen that on TCG Player.
I think
Like
I've seen that when I bought some Pokemon cards because I wanted the reverse hollow
maybe
versions.
just because I only do Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, there's no reverse hollow for us.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, we need to get in this game
I'm
when it's
not getting in
cheaper.
the game. It's very expensive. All right, my
When it's
next
cheaper.
question. We're moving back. Go back to Yu-Gi-Oh. Come on, come on. What are you thinking?
We're a channel. We're a Medizu channel.
What if speed duel rules became the new master rule instead of a separate game?
Uh, I would probably stop playing.
I would quit Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, I guess maybe you'd have
I
to say it like more fine-tuned per se. What if it became master duel, like it was the new master rule that like skill cards and like uh you could play,
honestly, I think I'd still quit.
you'd quit, you'd be
I-
done.
Especially because lately I've had more of the problem where like I've been playing goofier decks. I feel like lately, and a lot of those goofier decks have needed more than 40 cards. So if I was forced into a format where my deck was 20 to 30, I think I would lose like a lot of the fun, you know?
At 20 or 30, it's hard for me to even like fathom 20 to 30 cards. It's like totally like it really is completely different.
Yeah. It also is I mean I have this I haven't played a ton of Speed Duel, but I bought that Speed Duel box.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously that isn't like the best representation of like an actual Speed Duel like meta or tournament or something like that.
Hmm.
But the cards are a lot um it's either you combo out your whole deck and you're done, or it seems like you literally play for 20 turns and somebody decks out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it seems very
I'm not a
that
huge
way. But
speed
again, I
duel.
haven't played, and I'm sure I know that like Cyber Angels is a huge thing in there. So like I'm sure that deck is fucking amazing, and you can deal the full 4K in one hit or something. But
Well, I guess on that same vein, what if Lynx never came out?
ooh, I like Link monsters.
I
I
think
think Link.
I
I well, I don't know. Link monsters are weird. I like Link monsters, and I like their original purpose, where they like limited the extra monster zone, and then you had to use them. You know what I mean? But it like made the game very one-sided for some decks,
Mhm.
like fucking like we said in the last podcast, like Spiral, where they essentially just became like, oh yeah, I'm gonna you link the board with a bunch of interruptions, and then you can't do shit. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I feel like it definitely
So
like
like Link's
makes Lynx better, Link decks better.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think Link's made the game like worse in that regard because you had decks that could do that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then you also had some decks where it was like Link's totally fucks them. You know what I mean? Like when I bought Raid Raptors, I think it was like only a couple months before Link's or before that ruling came out where they changed the extra monster zone ruling, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
With the Link monsters and everything. And I immediately was like, okay, well, I'm never going to pick up this deck again. And then I sold it, and I think I only played it like less than 10 times in the entirety of me owning that deck because as soon as I bought it, it was essentially hit because I couldn't Z summon wherever I wanted to, you know?
Hmm.
So if they weren't in the game, I don't think it would be like the worst thing in the world, but I personally like them.
What do
But
you think would be like best? What do you think if like right now, looking at everything that exists, what I mean, I guess that's a very hard question. Like, what would be the top of the tower if Link cards just didn't never came out? Format stayed the same, exactly like the rules stayed the same. You could summon anywhere, but there's no
oh,
links.
uh like you could still summon them anywhere, is that what you said?
Yeah, you can summon them anywhere. There's no limit. There's no link zones because links never came out. So what would
Um,
be the top? What would be the best of the best
I
right
don't.
now?
I think all of them. We have a lot of stuff right now that are good. You know what I mean? Like Sword Soul's a full synchro deck.
Hmm.
Branded is a full
Full fusion.
fusion deck. and splites are coming out, and those are looking at being like fucking tier 0, and those are a full Xyz deck.
You
You
know,
know?
we gotta talk about splites because at some point we gotta chat about that because I don't know. Maybe I played a bad player the other day, but I was like, what is the hype about this? This isn't really. It was
Uh,
not tickling any
well,
sort of fancy here.
yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like I played against them. I've played against them 2 or 3 times now, and I haven't lost yet. But I think it's like I think you have to go and read the cards because I think it is a player thing because they literally have a level 2 main deck monster that special summons itself for free and is a negate.
Oh,
Yeah, like they any archetype that has that immediately, I feel like is like, oh, hold on a second.
well, hold
And then
up, wait a minute.
the level 2 Xyz monsters also are like pretty good, surprisingly. You know, because you have that. I mean, we played Ojamas, which had some of them last night. The Melfi, you get a 2K free attack if you want it. That raccoon one that can kill any monster because it clones the attack of the highest monster. You know.
Okay.
You have Centauria, which is that card that everyone uses to make Zeus because it can like uh it like can't be destroyed or something like that. So it's like always a viable Zeus target.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of good
So,
link rank 2 stuff that and there's also some newer stuff too. There's a new Xyz sponsor that's pretty good. I don't know the name of it because it's like a Asian name, but
so
uh
kind of back to the other thing though, like split aside, it sounds like there's enough decks right now that don't really need links, but they're just supported in general by them.
yeah.
That
I think Lynx is probably the worst.
oh, I think it's the worst when you don't have to like when you can summon anywhere,
Well,
like
I
when.
just think it's the worst type, honestly, out of like any of the extra deck types, though. Like they're very good, but there hasn't been a Link deck, I don't think, in a long time in the meta. Like as a real meta contender.
Damn, that's a
You know
tough
what I
one.
mean?
I almost want to say that Synchro is worse than
Ooh,
Link.
dude, I don't know. That whole Hulk combo, I think alone argues that point.
But you can see, but you can't do that without links.
Uh, yeah, but there's like Sword Soul's a synchro deck, and they're not like linking a ton.
Sure, I guess I'm just like I don't know. I feel like
That Synchron, that whole that what is the archetype called? They're like they use the junk stuff. It's like all the Starlight Dragon shit. You know what I mean? They synchro a ton without Speedroid synchro a ton without. They don't need a Link monster.
it's like what about like an access code combo though?
Yeah, but like one access code talker, I don't think is better than like a Borreload Savage, a Barone, the fucking that Herald one, the like Synchro 4, that's a macro cosmos and a spell trap negate in one go. Dawn Dragster. Like there's synchros are crazy.
Hmm.
I'd probably argue that synchros I think are the best extra deck type in my opinion. But
Uh,
we're getting to the point now where like so many types are just like all the fusion decks now that can fuse from deck.
I know. Yeah, it's such a. I don't know. I would say fusion is what the one I was gonna
Actually,
say is probably the most
I take
power.
it back. It has to be fusion just because of DPE and fucking Dragoon.
Yeah, I guess of right now
Like
that is, but like things like Super Poly existing are just like
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
stupid. I don't like I run it quite a bit, but it is a dumb card. It just, things you can't respond to are just silly to me. But okay, interesting take on that. This one we're gonna go back a little bit to the anime. I got two more or two kind of anime centered.
Mhm.
What if Dungeon Dice Monsters took off more than the card game?
Honestly, I don't know any of the rules of Dungeon Dice
Ugh,
Monsters.
Dungeon Dice Monsters is so cool, Chris. You should go back and
I've
watch the episodes.
I've
They're
heard it's cool.
awesome. I wish that it took off more. I've tried to buy the old toys that they did come out with, and they're
I'm
so
sure they're.
expensive.
I was gonna say I'm sure they're
Ugh,
pricey.
it's so annoying. But they're so cool because you get like figurines and whatnot for the actual
Mm,
cards. And I think that's like a part of I don't know, part of Yu-Gi-Oh that I wish that everyone kind of I feel like some subconsciously wants to have like more like it's kind of like the holograms or like the way that the cards pop out and
yeah, yeah,
whatnot. Like the figurines kind of made it a little more real in some sense. So
yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll skip that one, but you should definitely check out those episodes because Dungeon Dice
Mm.
Monsters are so cool. Maybe not the coolest. Definitely not the fairest of ideas. I would say. I'm sure it would kind of get. I feel like the game itself is probably a little bit broken, but kind of going to this next one. What if season 1 rules never changed?
What rules?
I was gonna explain that and thought about it for a second. Like, I get what he's doing here.
It's fucking every episode. There's like some new shit that goes on in that show.
Cards do different hidden effects that aren't on the thing.
Or they just like tribute summon like without a tribute.
Yeah, so like,
Don't they in the anime they literally have like 2k attacker life points or something like that in the first season?
yeah, 2 or 4, I can't remember.
I feel like it's 2 and then they move to 4 or something.
Well, yeah, like what if it's
Uh,
like what if stars just didn't mean anything? You could just summon.
I'm looking up the life point thing. Uh oh, it's only giving me the real ruling.
It's the real ruling. Yeah, it's 4,000. Get that
4,000.
question?
4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what
Oh
like what
no,
if
2,000 to start, and then they just changed the 4. Yeah,
out of nowhere?
yeah. They just at one point they
2
just
to
went
4
to 4.
and then to 8.
Yeah, yeah.
So like what if
Um,
what if stars
I
just
that
didn't
would
even
just
matter?
be. I don't even know if. I mean, if stars didn't matter for summoning, I almost don't think much would be that different
Oh, I
because
think
your
a lot.
normal summon is still like.
Restricted to 1.
Yeah, you have that still restricted 1, and we've just hit the point now where, quite frankly, stars don't matter to Konami anymore because like they will print a level 8 monster that's like, oh, you can special summon this for free. I found a card in Counter Fairy. It's a level 8 monster that I can special summon it from my hand once I activate a counter trap card, and then you can it literally is like banish a counter trap from your graveyard, destroy all cards your opponent controls or something like that.
Excuse me?
Like something. It's like something like bonkers
Why don't you
crazy
run
good.
that?
I was running it. I just haven't. It hasn't come up, and I also cut it in my last build just for more like consistency cards.
Hmm.
But I found it, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, this is insane." But it feels like that. You know what I mean? Like you
Mm.
have all these archetypes that pump out these monsters that are just fucking crazy, and you have on the other side all these weak monsters that are fucking crazy. Like we just said, splites are all level 2s, and they fucking are insane. Gren Manju's a level 3 that can become whatever attack you want it to be.
It's true. It's true.
Like, I honestly don't even think levels care.
Care.
Besides extra deck stuff. Like I think if everyone could play an extra deck that was just level 8s, or a main deck that was just level 8s,
Mm.
like that would be preferred. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
level 8 Xyz are like fucking bonkers.
Well, they are nice
Yeah.
OTK.
Oh yeah.
Um,
But
you know,
yeah,
we
I
just
don't
were
know.
talking about what the strongest stuff is, but like fusions are pretty strong, but so Xyz are pretty strong too. There's a lot. You know, their
Yeah,
decks like filled with pretty strong stuff.
yeah. Yes, except for like access code in like Appaloosa.
Yeah,
And
let's say you
even
have
then,
like a generic
I feel
boss
like
monster.
those are almost falling out. Like access code isn't, but like
Hey,
Appaloosa, I
Borosword.
feel
No
like
one
isn't.
really doesn't really use Borosword.
Yeah, yeah, they're kind of. I feel like all those links are kind of just like falling out of favor. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
there's usually better
Especially when
stuff
you
that
have,
just in the archetype to run.
yeah, like with in Virtual World running uh that Bath Mech card that like in the extra monster zone it's immune to all things and it deals double battle damage to anything it kills.
Good, great.
Like, why would you not run that? Like, I'm gonna run that over access code every day. Like, if I can hit my opponent for 8k off the bat by punching into it, yeah, I'm taking it.
I got 2 more for
Crazy.
you.
Yeah.
What
This
if?
next one's a no, so we can just skip it.
Okay. What if the ban list came out yearly or every 6 months?
Ugh.
Ugh. What if it was like a yearly event that was like set date? It's like, okay, this is the day. Like every January 1st, they just fucking lay the law down with like a whole new list.
I mean, I would be sad. It would be a big bummer. I don't play enough decks that the ban list hurts normally, you know what I mean? So like
Mhm.
I don't think I would end up really caring that much cuz the ban list never hits anything that actually matters. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like please just hit Dragoon or DPE or Verte or something. Like they never touch the stuff we actually want them to touch. They fucking hit the bullshit.
I will
So
say I
I don't even know if I
usually
would care that much.
I feel like I tend to be surprised with what they hit half the time. I'm like
Yeah,
90,
exactly.
there's usually one card that I'm like, okay, that that does make sense. And then everything else is like, wait a minute, what? What was I missing that you had to hit
Yeah.
that? I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, this opens a whole nother subject. I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the channel, but it seems like Konami for the ban list, like they hit the cards that enable problems, but they don't hit the problems,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
they love
Like
because
and
they're
I
trying to sell
do
cards.
get it.
They
Yeah,
gotta
and I
sell.
get it. Yeah, it's just well, like sometimes I feel like it doesn't even sell. Like the one that I'm thinking of right now, because this is
Samorg.
one of the recent ban lists. Yes,
Samorg.
that hit me,
Yes, that's
Samorg,
the one.
and I get it because they hit the card that creates a problem. The fact that Samorg, the Link monster, could summon out the barrier statue was a problem. But hit the fucking barrier statue because literally in Samorg, it is equally as valuable of a play for me to set to and normal summon a barrier statue than the other play. You know what I mean? Like it's equally as strong, essentially, to do that. So just hit the barrier statue.
I feel like they did that a lot for Crystron for a while, and hit the Link Cross instead of the Crystron, and then they hit there was another one. They hit the tuner that you could summon instead of the Crystron.
Yeah. Well,
Uh
I still don't think Hulk is the
I mean, at
problem.
this
That's
point it's not a
again,
problem, but they've hit so many
yeah.
pieces around it. I mean, if you brought those pieces back, I think a lot of those combos would come back.
Uh
You would run Hulk
oh
and
no,
you do
yeah,
all that
no, yeah.
stuff.
I agree, but I'm saying I don't think Hulk is the combo. I think there's other cards in that combo that are the problem. Like Aurora Dawn making you 3 fucking tokens
That
is the
yeah.
problem.
Tokens are just that
You can't even play fucking that Blackwing card, Steam the Cloak. It makes 1 token, and that was too bad for Konami. And they haven't hit the card that makes 3.
Hmm.
Scapegoat's at 1, and that makes
Is it at
4.
one? I think it's at two. It's at two now.
Oh, is it a 2 now? Even
I
okay,
think.
2. And Auroradon is a card that you can get at any point from your extra deck that makes 3. Like it really doesn't make sense to me.
I want.
And I mean, like you can definitely argue that Hulk is the problem, sure, but I think that Auroradon and the fact that uh that the Despot is able to like continuously trigger back from grave is a problem as well. Because as soon as 2 machines are summoned, it summons back every
Hmm.
time, and I think that is a problem too.
Fair enough.
But I agree, Konami, like they always hit the wrong things in the ban list. So if they came out every 6 months or a year, I think it would just be like more delayed depression.
I feel like there'd be a bit bigger list though. Like I think it would be a huge change to the list. I think a year would give them
Yeah.
time to evaluate like a
If
ton of the cards that are on the list. Like half these
yeah, if
ones
they
that
did it
everyone
that
goes
way, then
on.
sure. Yeah, if they
Like
did it that way, bigger lists, like okay, whatever.
it
I
was
wouldn't
like
prefer it that way, but like okay, do it. But I mean, the ban list now sometimes though, you literally wait for 3 months, and it's like,
you get two cards
oh,
or something.
what was the last one? Wasn't there nothing banned on the last one?
Oh,
And like,
this one is no. The last one was pretty big. There was
was it
like there
which
was
one is the
one
one we had recently where like it was literally like 3 cards moved from limited to unlimited or something like that, and then that was it. Which one was
I
that? Do you
do
remember?
remember that one, but I don't remember what it was. But this one had
It,
a ton. There's
well, I
four
guess the last one had some work,
bands.
right?
Yeah, it has the
Yeah.
Arsenal's Protoss, Eva was banned, Samorg banned, Imperial Order banned, and then Limited was Astrograph, uh, Destrudo. I forgot about Destrudo. I gotta put Destrudo on some things. What am I doing? Infernity
Mm.
Archfiend, Fairy Tale Snow, Lyralisk, Monster Gate,
Mhm.
Pot of Desires. This is a big one. And then
Yeah, that is
semi-limited
a
and
big one.
limited, or semi-limited and off the ban list is like a ton of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That was 11 cards alone.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, but the small lists though suck.
Yeah, the
That
small.
was a good one.
If you
Yeah,
feel like you wait 2 months and it's like it almost. I like the ban list. I love. It's like fun to look forward to.
oh yeah, I like it. Yeah.
It's enjoyable to go like, oh man, that format's gonna change. Yeah, and then when they do like 2 cards, it's like ugh, format didn't
Yeah, but it's
change.
just such a bummer though, and it just like is a like it goes against you for like something stupid. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I mean, I think I coincidentally just grabbed like all the wrong decks. You know, Like, of course, I grabbed Crystron's 3 years before like one of the strongest Link monsters came out.
Yeah.
Of course, I grabbed some Morgs in preparation for fucking Fluanderies, and then Tri Brigade breaks the Link. Like, I grab the shittiest decks. Like, I always grab the ones that fucking one person's like, oh, hold on, this
Hold
Link
on,
monster's pretty cool.
let's see what I can do with that.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Okay, last one
It's
for you.
always the Links. Also, have you noticed that? By the way,
What do you mean?
like the Links when they ever give legacy support to old archetypes, the Links are the problem. Like,
Well,
or
it,
not the problem, but the strongest ones, like Verte.
well,
Predaplants didn't get cards for fucking ever.
well,
Hulk. Crystron's didn't get cards forever. Samorg. Samorg didn't get cards forever.
well, they try to make something good for one particular archetype, and then it's like, oh, let's exploit this with like 10 other things.
Yeah. Well, the
Everything you
problem is
just listed is probably somewhat run in the archetype, but like is run in everything else.
yeah, well, the problem is that every one of them says you could special summon one tuner, not one Crystron tuner
Yeah, and
or
they all
one
should be
water tuner.
so specific. I don't know what
Yeah.
they were thinking.
Samorg should just say like one Samorg monster.
They all
Granted,
should be like
I
Predaplant should
prefer it
be
as a
to
wing piece.
Predaplant, and so Crystron should be Crystron, like you said. They should all
Yeah.
be like that. Everything should really. I wish everything was more specific. I wish there was, It pisses me off, and that was another whole thing I wrote down that I wanted to talk about, but I'm not. It doesn't matter to me now, honestly. But like, it's so annoying. Engines versus like pure builds. I hate engines, and like that. I feel like they ruin decks or ruin the fun of a deck. But that's my own soapbox.
I hate engines when they're when they're like so good that you have to run them, like the adventure engine, the DPE engine, the Dragoon engine.
Mm.
But like, I don't mind engines when it like actually like if it's kind of something like you homebrewed, it's like an 8-card engine. You know what I mean? It's like kind of big for what it is, but it works well in your deck. I think that's fine. It's creative. You did something good. But when you can ignore 75% of an archetype and just put in 3 Fateful Adventures, 3 Water Enchantresses, and then call it fucking a day, like go fuck yourself.
Oh Jesus. Another conversation for another video again. But last one I got for you, and this one was I think this is the one that kind of excites me the most. That like I wish could happen.
What if Yu-Gi-Oh was pornographic?
Yeah, what if all the cards were just naked? What if Konami did not announce new cards in sets and you didn't know what cards were in the set going into it?
Oh, dude, I would be so down.
Down
I
or
would.
pissed? I feel like it'd be
I
annoying
know.
to have to like buy
I
stuff and to find out, or
no. I think I would love that.
like it was
I think that
always
would be
hidden. I guess people would just come up with their own. They would figure it out because you'd open it and eventually just get them all. But
well. Okay, yeah, I think that would be great in a world where leaks didn't exist. I think.
yeah,
The
leaks
problem
and
is
Yugi
they.
tubers.
Yeah, the problem is that still really doesn't even happen nowadays. It's just that some dude who works at the fucking plant in fucking Kentucky or some shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like took a picture of a bunch of these cards and posted them on Reddit. Like that's the problem. If they did that, I think that would be wicked cool. Though I think that they would or should, like if that was to happen, they should at least say like, you know, this pack supports whether they say specific archetypes like, oh, this pack supports Marincess, or they just say like this pack supports water monsters.
Oh, that
I
would be
think
interesting if
I
if you
think
just hinted to like you told everyone
yeah,
the archetypes that were in there, and then you just
yeah,
go well, like here you go, fine, you get what you
exactly.
get.
You don't know what's there, you don't know what's going to be in there. I think it would suck in the fact that you can't like practice beforehand, cuz that's I think part of the fun of like, oh shit, they're announced. Let me go on to Omega and
I
try out a
almost
new build, you know?
The more that I
But
think about it, though, I almost don't want them to even say the archetypes because I think that would be like once one person would find out about the one new card or something like that, it'd be like, okay, then I'm not buying that set. I think it'd be even cooler if the pack just
mm,
showed certain things on it, and it was like, oh, look at the pack. Oh, you see this on the pack? Oh, that must mean this is in there. This could be getting support.
yeah, that'd be cool. It also, I guess, would help. Not saying archetypes would help avoid like buyouts and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, this will never happen though. Like in a world with the internet and everything like that, especially because the TCG player is like such a business itself. Like, I can't imagine that people not knowing or pre-sailing the cards and whatnot. That it just wouldn't happen.
yeah, yeah. No, that would that would never come about.
But it'd be so cool in a world where like you didn't know
Mm.
what the packs like. You just were going in for a little mystery and like, oh man, I pulled a bunch of this stuff. Or it'd be cool too if they like, I mean not cool, but like, could you imagine like some Konami employee just like fucking with people, like throwing one random card from a whole other set in there for like, and going it's like, I swear I pulled one of these in here. No way you didn't. I've never seen one of those out of that pack.
Oh, that would be so funny.
And like and just constantly screwing with people.
Now, how would you feel if Konami added uh okay, you ready? All packs are treated like secret packs from Master Duel.
Or
For
you can
half
get
your cards in the
anything, but you
pack
get
are from the
majority.
pack. Yep, half are from the pack, and the other half are just every card ever printed.
Nah, that would piss me off.
Yeah?
I'd be pretty
Even
pissed
if
in that.
even if in that like extra 4 cards or whatever, you pulled like a dragoon, you'd still be mad.
I feel like the odds of that happening are pretty low, but like I think I'd just be generally pissed that like I could maybe never get certain things like the pull ratios. I feel like I almost think that not Master Duel scamming me per se, but like there's a code that just writes like, oh, give him this, give him this, give him that. I feel like I would never trust Konami to go like, oh yeah, let's give him like a bunch of ultra rare, a bunch of secret rare stuffs. Like I feel
Mm,
like there'd be the pull rates on like the better cards that you're trying to look for would be so much lower, and they'd be making such a profit off of me just buying packs over and over and over again, never guaranteeing the chance that I get
yeah.
certain things. Especially because Master Duel has a system where I mean, yes, you can buy currency on Master Duel, but like you also can buy the cards straight up, which I guess you could do off TCG Player. But the pull rates would be, I'm sure how much they would cost on that would be like a fortune.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that would really screw the whole market up. And on top of that, I think like the fact that Master Duel has the system of like, oh, I can play the game and I earn more money and then I can buy more packs. Like that is the reason why it's okay. Versus like this, I'm
Yeah.
working 40 hours a week. I want to buy this one particular pack that has this particular shit in it.
That is true.
So
But do you think it would I mean, I agree with you. I wouldn't actually ever want a master pack to like really exist.
mhm.
But do you think some prices would go lower though in the fact that as soon as like again Dragoon comes out, every pack you can open a Dragoon?
I guess that's up to the Konami's discretion. Are they actually doing that? Like, is Dragoon actually going into it?
I mean, I would say I think master packs you can get every card in the game, I think.
I think you
So,
can too, but the way the Master Pack works is like it's still harder to pull a Dragoon because it's an Ultra. So like, yes, you can, but like the chances of getting an Ultra are 1 in 10. What is it? Guaranteed one out of every 10 packs. So
yeah.
like you're still the chances of getting well Dragoon's not even the game, so I can't even use Dragoon unless they just put it in or not. But like there's no
I don't know.
like for a card like that in the same rarity style, like an ultra rare is still harder to pull even in those
Yeah,
packs that just show nothing. I've never got
that is
actually now
true.
that you
Yeah.
say that, I don't think I've ever gotten an ultra rare out of a pack that was generic that wasn't related to the pack. I don't think I've ever done that.
Oh, really? I've had that happen all the time.
Really?
I would dare to say half my rarities have been not from the back. Because anything
Really?
on the if you have a rarity on the left side of your master pack, it's not in the pack. Because
What do you mean a rarity?
like when you have like the glowing card
Mm.
in a master pack, like because the left 4 of your cards are the generic cards. So if you have a rarity on the left side, it isn't from the pack, you know?
I don't know. The left four, like the first four, are not from the pack. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
Like
didn't
you know
know
how
that.
you open a master pack and it lays the 8 cards out and you like
Yeah.
drag your mouse over them? The left 4 are the random cards.
Really?
The right 4 are the pack cards. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
Oh,
anytime
I
you get
guess
a
I
rarity
must
in the
have then.
left 4. Yeah, oh yeah. I was going to say like I would be very surprised
Well,
if you had.
well then that almost makes it worse because like like you know how many times I've pulled a rare card like that, but then I'm like I don't need this. I did like
Oh yeah.
this is so useless to me. Like imagine I understand what you're saying. Like oh man, I can get a Dragoon out of any pack, but like you can also get like any of those cards that they deem
Yeah.
rare or ultra
You can also
rare.
get a dream mirror if you want one.
Yeah, those are like the way that the Master Duel sets that whole system up is like so wrong to me. Like
It
bad
is.
archetypes should just still be bad and they should be rares or commons or whatever, and the good stuff should be good. Like I don't understand what the thought
Yeah,
process is on making every deck have to have an ultra rare and every deck have secret rares.
yeah, it is. Definitely not a Master Duel guy.
Yeah, I've
Definitely is.
really grown off of the Master Duel.
I mean, we've already had a whole tirade about
Yeah,
it, but
yeah, yeah. We complain. We had to complain about
it
something on
is.
this channel,
It.
on this
I will
episode.
say it is. I think it is better to watch just because it looks like
Oh,
I like
yeah.
Omega and the holograms, but like everything else about Master Duel is nicer to like watch and experience, but like it's just not worth it. Especially in the best of one thing. Fucking
The best that
that's a
what
whole
a
nother scenario, but
dumb thing. I don't. I mean, I
yeah.
don't even like the fact there's a whole separate ban list. That bothers me. But
Yeah,
whole different topic.
not a fan of that either. It's just annoying to
Anyways,
have a deck and not be able to bring it into it, something like that.
yeah, like, especially when
Or
you're
like
like
at least your deck list. If you can't buy them, different scenario. But
the whole going like one is like going only having one game is so stupid to me. Like that. Like if I have a going second deck and he or going first deck and he wins the fucking
yeah,
coin toss or whatever. That's such bullshit. Like, come on. Why would that I should be able to do a match where it's like, okay, and then I can side out and like if I maybe I lose the coin toss, but then the game two I get to go what I want, and then if I win game two and game three, then I can go, okay, I'm siding this stuff up out because I know I don't like some of this stuff I can get rid of because it's going first stuff and I don't need it.
yeah, it is fucking stupid. I hate that you have to just like requeue and then tell your friend like, I'll go second.
Dumb.
y-
Dumb.
you know?
Absolutely dumb. It's like Konami
Yeah.
wasn't using their brain or something, like always.
Yeah, yeah. When do they?
Anyways, that's all
When
I
they
got
make
for
Dark
you.
Magician Sport, that's when they do.
Yeah, dark vision and blue eye
Blue Eyes.
support, and then red eye
Yeah.
support just kicked to the curb. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do another what if episode. Those are the ones I came up with today, just off the top of my head. But maybe we'll have a what if Chris episode. Maybe he'll think of some. Or this could just be a podcast episode.
Try.
That could be a whole thing. It doesn't have to be different. But let us know if you liked it, didn't like it. Chris, what did you feel about it? How did you like it? I didn't even tell you what we were
I
doing.
like them. Yeah,
Just
no, I like them. They were good. They were good questions.
kind of some
Make your brain think.
yeah, some brain teasers about Yu-Gi-Oh. Really.
Yeah.
But that's all we got for today. Join us in the next one. If there is ever a next one, who knows? One of these days I might just be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, and you might just drive off a bridge.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, actually.
Yeah, no, I know.
How dare you say that to me.
Okay, bye.